Alright, well, we tied that off. That's pretty cool. Cryptozoology. We are like desperately and slowly crawling towards enough money. Postcard. Okay. Tarpaulin, some more money. Alright, we have enough for another day. Let's keep going. Love to see it.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
This is awful. What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. The signs of decaying meat. It announces itself from 24 meters away. A warning. A memento mori.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right
The
here.
lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
And we
There's some
found that
tear,
guy.
An empty cigarette package and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Damn
Two
it.
empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness. Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. A man lies on the boardwalk,
Damn.
his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body.
Study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no.
Oh no.
This sounds terribly familiar. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall, the blackness of death, stench. You think you see white chewing gum too?
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
True. It feels disrespectful. They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
We know who this is. It's the working class woman's missing husband, dead on the
The
boardwalk.
woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
He looks at the bundle of flesh and rags laying on the ground. Why do you think it's her husband? The leather jacket, pointing the man's clothes, it matches her description perfectly. Pointed to tar, she said he was drinking. The library card, he was supposed to return. I mean, all three of these are
The
valid.
bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
Do you think
Death
happened?
by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
I can't access my items.
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. No need to rush.
Alright, let's have a little look at the library card just in case that helps us identify them. It's the postcard.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. Whoever
Sorry?
owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours 900 to 1800.
We should first decide what to do with the body before taking any other actions.
A man lies on the boardwalk.
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me.
That's fair.
I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
You're right.
Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest.
We found it, we
Alright.
should take it.
We've already examined the library card. Let's call the Jamrock Library from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about this Billy Méjean. And while we're there, we should also call the station. Let them know that we are taking the case.
Right, so the map mentioned quick travel? But I don't know how one would do it. Hmm. Interesting. Don't really know, but it's fine. We'll just walk back. Moonshine, probably. Coin-operated weighing machine. The game is so good, man. Like, it's just so good. It's unreal just how good it is. Like, truly. Every single time you're like, yep, I think I've got a handle on it. It's just like, no, do you want more though?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
It might be a clue.
A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jackets?
It could have been multiple seagulls.
A poet could write 12 verses and still not begin to capture the profound fixation in that sigh. You should still take it.
You should still take it. Wild.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
It used to service what?
Probably something that is no longer there.
Push the gears. Alright, well. This is probably about as good as a spot to stop we're gonna get. Campfire. Rusted broken radio. Tower. Scented scarf. Oh yeah, you know what? I got the armor as well, didn't I? On perception. 1 shiver, 2 physical. -1 empathy, but increased volition and pain threshold. Pretty good. Obviously, this being the RPG that it is, you should most assuredly change your equipment as necessary. So, like, I'm genuinely blown away by how, like, this is expanded. Like, legit, like, wow. Like, so impressive. And, like, the game keeps going. And I'm here for it. Saint Bois. Shadows. Morale. Lovely. Alright, let's go into this and then I think I'll save and call it a day.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Take a look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker.
Look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before.
Have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
Okay, what is junior delinquency? What is suggestive of junior delinquency?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
I agree, it's very modern, but does the cheery guy not know he's dead? Or does the dead guy not care that he is? What is the source of the irony?
That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Peel off the sticker without ripping it. Inspect the
The
staple.
padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
This is where Mr. Prybar comes in handy.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Where do you think
Can
we
you
should
hear the
start?
pulsing bass underneath the wind? A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here.
Fair. I've also got really bad physical, like, instruments, so let's try the sticker.
There's nothing like
Oh,
the sound
yeah.
of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
Put the sticker on your ledger, right on the cover. Shake it off your thumb. I'll put it on the ledger.
Voila. Looks very modern.
Style your paperwork.
You're part of the future brigade now, and so is your formerly humdrum ledger. Neon, baby.
Nice. Alright, well, I'll just walk around the building. And then we'll go for it. Then we'll be done with today's session.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
It's cold out here. but she's not wearing a hat.
She must be freezing.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's the hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I don't have to do anything. I'm the law. You have to do what the law says. I should, and I do. Point at your hat.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Regain authority.
Lots of feeling. Feel it up. Way up.
Well, I got the morale back, so... What is it you just said to me? I believe you told me to...
You're
the
saying
hat.
it really loud, but it's not coming out right.
So I should just
Maybe I
take
won't
this
edit
and
much.
then I'm wearing it. Point where that is located. Alright, okay.
More.
Right.
More.
Give you a little ice patcho. Puff your cheeks if you can't even breathe for the sheer dignity of the
I didn't
affront.
mean to. I'm sorry.
The lieutenant is watching the scene unfold before his eyes, unsure how to react.
Start jumping up and down on the sea ice, gesturing towards it with both hands and say this is where it was supposed to take place.
The girl looks down, slowly curling into a ball.
What is
That's
this?
it. You've earned it. Start crying.
Anyway, I can't believe you used obscenities like that in front of a police officer, and you should. You
The
should.
words are stuck in your throat. All that comes out is
going
tears
on?
pouring down your face. The young woman has kept her eyes trained on her wires, waiting for the lecture to end. Looking up, she sees a grown man on the wrong side of 40, his face bloated from alcohol and God knows what else. Not so quietly, crying.
This isn't really about the hat, is it?
If it is, it so is. And you should wear a hat. That's it. That's what I wanted to say.
I swear to God, I will always wear a hat from now on.
Would it be alright if I asked you some questions now?
You know, you're not the only one with issues. I self-medicate. Shit. Life's a horror, you know? Crying helps, though. Get it out your system. And then maybe we can talk, okay? I'll be here.
I'd like to talk to you, please.
So, like, seriously, what's eating you, man?
There is a hint of pity in her eyes. Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Most men wouldn't call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
What's your name?
Estelle.
Asal. And surname?
Why?
I'm from the police. It's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Burger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What's that device you have here?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, and any news on my wife's name? How about my mother?
No, you're welcome.
Does this have anything to do with contact mic? How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Where did you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I'm hit beyond my gears. Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock in the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hotel room. I'm hit
That's
beyond my
cool.
gears. Yeah, right. You're right. Time is deserting me. Never mind. Let's talk about the content.
Sure.
Actually, I had some
Okay.
questions. What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it that you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones.
Wait, what
I
happened
think
to
I
the
just
headphones?
recorded your footsteps too.
Wait,
Not
what
sure
happened?
how that will sound.
Ugh. Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are those recordings for?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device, the thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish, very useless all of a sudden.
Take this, you're called.
The lieutenant begins to take
No,
off his
man,
jacket.
fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Now this is where a hat would come in handy. Give her your hat. You need this more than I do. You said it's supposed to be a music place.
Thanks.
I gave her the Dick Mullen hat. Oh no. You said it's supposed to be a music place.
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not going to be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys.
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are
They
inside?
got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some outside?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
I had some more
Go ahead.
questions. Empathy legendary. The tape recorder lies on the ice. I discarded the toy. Pick it up. You seem surprisingly comfortable being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revershaw experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Look awestruck. Who are these rich people? Sneer. I bet they're really rich. They must be very special people to be rich. Lean in and whisper. Let me guess. Those rich people are not from around here. Strange. The existence of rich people does not stir any emotion in me.
Oh, they are. And I'm scum.
You're not scum.
Oh, but I am.
What trouble are you getting into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
What is in Feuberg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes. Why did you need to move out of such a... No.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
I know what Jamrock is, but let's say I didn't. And why did you have to move out when you were so
My
young?
dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
I had another
Go
question.
ahead.
Tell me about the music place.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
Did you put the padlock on the door?
no, not really, no.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock
Show
on
her
the
the
door.
sticker on your ledger.
It's Noid's.
Wait, is this Noid a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about him, he'll tell ya.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Empathy.
The
Fail.
device
Oh,
is
we
still
got it.
warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron, adorns its yellow plastic cover. Inside, the tape is rolling. The girl looks at the device in your hands.
I'm sorry you have to sit here on the ice, feeling miserable at your age, or at any age, in this weather, waiting for it to get dark.
She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup.
The people who built this world intended for it to be better for you, but they failed. It is easy to live in their failure with this by your side. Tap on the tape recorder.
The wind howls. She remains silent. It's real. Tell her.
It's not a childish fantasy. It can be a real weapon against what's coming for you now.
What is?
The dark.
I know. I'll stick to it.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you differently now. As an equal. A fellow human being.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer?
It's all for now.
Okay. Hello again.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, well, that doesn't help us get into the building now, I guess. Yeah, having looked away during the final phase of your little episode of no,
Do you want to talk about what just happened?
What's there to talk about?
Normally, I'm opposed to discussing one's feelings, especially on duty. But I think this is an exceptional case. So, what do you think happened?
'Tis possible thou couldst persuade the lieutenant 'twas all a part of thy unorthodox method. But can thou persuade thyself?
Drama, challenging, convince yourself that you didn't melt down just now.
Thy pen of lies runneth dry. Best to simply deny the truth, bold-facedly.
What? Nothing happened.
So you're saying you didn't break down in tears just now and nearly tear your shirt off?
I've never cried once in my life.
Uh-huh.
You could torture me, abandon me, even divorce me, and I'd be dry as a desert. Yes, sir. Wipe your eyes.
Yes, I've definitely never seen you cry before, nor lent you my handkerchief to dry your tears.
Methinks my liege doth protest too much. A performance that would make the star of a radio melodrama blush.
Even so, in the future, could you please refrain from emoting too much on duty? The quasi-legal status of the RCM means we need to project strength twice as consistently as any other police force in the world.
Okay, I'll control my
Good.
emotions.
Controlling your emotions sounds good. Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on?
Absolutely, superstars always get back up on their feet.
Then, let's go.
Right, I'm a bit sad I gave away the Dick Mullen hat. I'll be honest, I very much enjoyed the bonus. Dang, I don't really have like a good hat. Like it has a minus. That's very upsetting. I liked my Dick Mullen hat.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint.
Where's it coming from?
From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit.
Yeah, that's me. I've been
Yeah.
establishing it.
You have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Baye, badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera,
Action.
lights. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Still seems unlikely research though. Honestly, I kind of want to do it. I've got 3 skill points, so yeah, so that why not? Some kind of superstar. Okay.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures you to squeeze in. Ah, yeah.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Shake his
His
hand.
grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid,
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
and Egghead. Egg!
He holds the tape player high above his head, continues to blast strange music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
How many music venues have you organised?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you
You
here?
see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Next time, watch
I
yourself.
will, lawman.
Drops a drill chunk into a plastic container.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads.
Go pads!
Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Revachol.
Strike that. The world.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I feel like I may be laying this on a bit thick. What's really so bad about this dopeheads and burnouts? I won't stand for no, don't know what that is, of any kind, on my watch.
Yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky.
What do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. All
Sure.
right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
No, you put the pallet on the door.
So you met her. Good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think.
Hmm.
There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noy to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
How long have the people been in there?
Not long, like a week maybe?
This is proper citizen
Thank
behaviour.
you. We just thought it was the right thing to do.
Need
Of
the key?
course.
All right.
Let's roll for it.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way cool.
Don't ruin the cool by overdoing it. Raise your hand in front of your face. When
Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye orb. In the looking orb. A stabbing pain. Tears
Goddamn
stream
asshole, what is wrong with you?
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard. I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't throw them better.
I'm sorry, bend your face in mockery of his useless contrition. You almost I-messaged me, a cop. This is useless.
I
That's useless
really am
force.
sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
He pulls out some black paper from his belt
Wow,
bag.
looks like there's quite a lot there.
That's the least you could do,
I
Sean.
hope that settles it. Or wait. The key?
The key, he cautiously hands you the
He
key.
is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
How long have these people been locked
Not
in there?
long. Like a week,
Oh, yeah.
maybe?
I'm
I'm
sure
super
that's
sure
bad.
they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. What does anything mean, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I catch you,
I
Drake.
knew you'd get it.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop.
You can stop buttering me
Oh,
up now.
okay. I won't do that anymore. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
That's it
As
for now.
always,
So the benefit of restoring health when you fail a red check means at least I won't actually die. Right, let's go open the church and then I'll actually save.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Push it over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Nice. Shortcuts.
Heavy wooden doors. More than the lock turns easily.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doomed commercial area. Its black holes and dusty machines. Then the feeling passes. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum in the heart of the city.
Okay, alright. A strange stillness fills you as you look around. Alright, let's equip me torch. The grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. More lightning. Okay. Music's really good here. Blackboard filled with complex equations.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, Even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it. But for the faintest of hums, you can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more. Your voice is barely audible. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Almost nothing. It's beginning to worry me.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing on its premises.
Please, detective. Not
He's trying to act dismissive, but at this particular moment, he's more open than usual to the orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Great. At least I healed.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark,
Officer, what are you looking at?
filled with vague shapes of woodwork.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you
Uh-oh.
with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
Who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesks in Rivershaw.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to receive the mother's love. You can too, Holmes. And when you ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Okay, fine. I'm struggling, but you don't need to lecture me. I know what I need to do.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc Albino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
For some reason, I feel like you have a point here. Who do you think you are? Some wild guy under a roof? This is stupid. Yeah, sure.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Think they scared of me.
Wait, do they have reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore.
So what do you think about the nightclub, that is?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
You know where the other spooker is? Point to the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
So there is another person living in the church. And it's a... whatever that word is.
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know where... how can you not know that when you both live
Don't
here?
really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So we've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who she
I'm
is?
afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Okay, thanks. Right, well, what a strange and beguiling turn of events.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass. The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you. It covers you from the wind outside. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you, inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse? She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. You.
Compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
Encyclopedia, medium, how did I know this, the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supremwindi. Altogether, 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning. In a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, But it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology, but she was not hell. She is the opposite of that, the wind of paradise, stripping away the covers from the hearts of men. There you stand, below her once more, with your hands on your side. The shards glimmer in the dark. You see little pearls of light.
Yes, I wasn't sure before, but this must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's called the Small Pinewood Church in some records. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
Okie dokie.
Okidodo.
A touch of absurdity there. Nice. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, this machine just looks the one in the Doom commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to
A
touch
quaint
it.
little box of radio waves.
Wait, let me just investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. Another filament memory. Press play to talk with the repeater. Nothing happens. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident on Sandbrun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Yvonne, it's me again. How are you?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
I looked in the core, but the tape with the filament just said log Febmar.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? Is it my birthday? This is the police. Please open the thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the...
I'm afraid we are not doing that.
Now, can you please repeat the received? Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, but I'm finished.
Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated.
I will find the password eventually. Choose. Do you know the password for the thing?
Oh, hey, Wade. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love. Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Yes, it's the first degree murder investigation. I'm doing a survey on passwords and passcodes identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña. I think we're done here, essay.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant.
Some kind of superstar.
Some kind of superstar. That is what you are.
They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Oh wow, okay. -1 logic, but learning cap for visual calculus suggestion, composure, and electrochemistry. That's pretty dope. Like, losing 1 to logic isn't great, but we can essentially rebalance that immediately. Oh, yeah, so I've got a bonus from IM, so yeah, it's actually really good. Sweet. Might have to sell some clothes. Main threshold. Empathy. Alright, I've got to try and do the password.
The machine's keyboard is the speaker.
Good afternoon. Good. Please repeat. Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church, the door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think the log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would you need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Oh.
breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you. She holds down the off button for several seconds.
I
and
do
she-
apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
We're here on a side case requesting certain music venue organisers. I'm pursuing a mysterious lead searching for my lost identity.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
And that is where we'll leave it for now, because, quite frankly, I am sleepy. And it is somewhat late. So there's that. So, good job. Good stuff. Super, super interesting. Really good progression. I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing, but I'm too tired. So, that's it. That's it. I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing a lot. But we'll be back next week instead. I hope you've enjoyed these episodes. Do please keep watching, let us know. You can obviously join live to watch the episodes. But otherwise, take it easy, YouTube, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye bye.